The world is searching for answers to new threats. After the start of the U.S. and Israeli military campaign in Iran, the Gulf countries are practically lining up for Ukrainian technologies that have been proven in combat. In the new NATO model, where European allies take on most of the responsibilities, Ukraine's role also becomes crucial. Over the years of war, the armed forces of Ukraine have gained unique combat experience, which is now becoming decisive for collective security. 200 Ukrainian military experts are already in the Middle East, with another 34 ready for deployment. Ukraine has signed mutual assistance and support agreements with Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait. This information was made public by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during his speech in the UK Parliament. Iranian strikes on hotels, airports, and residential neighborhoods. For the third week in a row, the whole world has been watching footage from the Persian Gulf countries in horror. But for Ukrainians, this is a terrifying reality they've been living with for 4 years already. Daily, peaceful communities face Russian and Iranian missiles and drones.
Every night, Ukrainian forces repel most of these attacks, not with expensive anti-aircraft missiles, like many Middle Eastern countries have done, but with much cheaper and more effective interceptor drones, technology that has been refined and perfected over 4 years of intense drone warfare. The war has turned Ukraine into a unique ecosystem, allowing for real-time testing of innovative, unmanned aerial vehicle technologies on the battlefield, according to an NBC News report.
According to open sources, during the 16 days of the U.S. and Israel operation against Iran, Tehran launched more than 1,000 missiles and over 3,000 kamikaze drones at the Persian Gulf countries. Patriot air defense missiles, which were most often used for protection, were being used up at an incredible rate. Considering that launching one of these missiles costs $3 to $4 million, or even significantly more. And this is another reason why Ukrainian interceptor drones are coming to the forefront as a more affordable and effective alternative. The price of one of these drones is between $3,000 and $4,000. In addition, in Ukraine, the connection between drone manufacturers and the military is very fast. Weapons are being modernized at record speed. Often, a developer receives a request in the morning and reports a ready solution by the evening. With proper funding, Ukraine's defense industry can produce about 8 million drones per year. Moreover, these can be drones of various types with no equivalents anywhere else in the world. Even today, Kyiv is capable of helping its allies build effective defenses, not only for the skies, but also for maritime space.
We started with simple kamikaze drones. Then we created drones with turrets that can fire at helicopters. Now we have drones that can shoot down Russian fighter jets from the sea. We have developed boats that carry other drones. We also have boats that strike land targets from the sea. And we are developing more stable drones that can operate longer and more efficiently at sea. In the very near future, we will have advanced technological systems that can operate even in challenging open ocean conditions.
During maneuvers in 2025, NATO forces faced serious challenges, for which they simply weren't prepared. In the fall, off the coast of Portugal, Ukrainians leading an international group won all the training naval battles. In one of the simulated attack episodes, they inflicted such damage on the opposing side's frigate that, in a real battle, it would have led to its sinking. One of the key factors in their success was the use of Magora unmanned boats, which had already proven themselves in the Black Sea during operations against the Russian Navy. A similar situation occurred during the NATO Hedgehog exercises in Estonia. But there, the scenario simulated a battle on open terrain using infantry, motorized rifle groups, drones, and reconnaissance. 16,000 troops from 12 countries took part in the exercises, and the outcome of these battles came as a shock to many. Now, on the battlefield, victory goes not to the one with the most armor, but to the one who sees the target better and makes decisions faster.
The result turned out to be an unpleasantly clear lesson for NATO. A small group, about 10 Ukrainians acting as the enemy, managed in half a day to destroy 17 armored vehicles in the simulation and strike about 30 other targets. 2 battalions were rendered combat ineffective so quickly that they had nothing left to fight with. The main reason is embarrassingly simple. The units moved around, set up tents, and parked vehicles without proper camouflage or discipline, as if the sky above them was empty. One of the most critical tools utilized was the Ukrainian Delta Battle Management System, which continuously gathers sophisticated real-time data, significantly accelerates the speed of information transfer, and helps build the detect transfer strike chain in just a few seconds, as reported in a detailed account by the Wall Street Journal.
The unique experience of the Ukrainian military is now more necessary than ever for the world, but especially for Europe. According to German intelligence estimates, Russia could be ready for a large-scale attack on NATO as early as 2029. A timeline that the military refers to as basically tomorrow. That's why Germany is speeding up its preparations and strengthening its cooperation with Kyiv. Ukrainian instructors will train Bundeswehr soldiers in artillery, armored operations, drone piloting, and electronic warfare systems. According to Die Zeit, this agreement was reached by the Ministries of Defense of Ukraine and Germany.
The plan is to incorporate the experience of Ukrainian soldiers into the training of the German armed forces, particularly in military academies. With this step, the Bundeswehr is responding to changes in combat tactics that became apparent during Russia's war against Ukraine. Among other things, the Ukrainian armed forces have extensive experience in using drones and countering UAVs, as well as quickly integrating modern command and control technologies into combat units. This information comes directly from the Die Zeit news publication.
For the first time, Ukraine is giving international partners the opportunity to train artificial intelligence models on real battlefield data. To make this possible, the government has decided to launch a special platform. This new format will allow algorithms to be safely trained with large amounts of photo and video material, as well as use data that is constantly being updated. By the way, after Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to London, it became known that the United Kingdom will fund the creation of a new artificial intelligence center at Ukraine's Ministry of Defense.
This team of experts, which receives support in the amount of £500,000 sterling, will ensure the most effective use of artificial intelligence to gain an advantage on the battlefield. In turn, the United Kingdom will be able to benefit from the experience gained for its own defense. This is yet another example of how our cooperation benefits both countries, from a statement on the UK government website.
From all of this, we can conclude Ukraine has long since moved beyond the role of simply a recipient of aid. Now it is a full-fledged participant in the global security system. The combat experience of Ukraine's defense forces, along with their technologies and rapid implementation of solutions, is becoming a real contribution to the defense of our allies. This cooperation is built as a partnership. Kyiv shares its practical experience and developments, while the allies strengthen these capabilities with investments. This very model could become the foundation of the future security architecture.